Happy Sunday, everybody. So, my voice is still kind of shot. Okay, let's get to my low and my high marks of kindness. Well, just like I said it was going to be, it was cold, brutally cold, and no matter how much I try to, get warm if I had to go back out, I was really cold again. But, and I talked about this in my, live vlog last night, that, at the last second, my dad says, you know what, I don't mind celebrating my birthday at Libs. So, for like the span of 45 minutes to an hour, I'm like constantly trying to call Libs to try and get a reservation. And I got the busy line like every time. How are they busy for that long? What kind of phone call they making? Who's calling them? And that's the real question. But when I finally got to them, I'm like, hi, I'd like to make a reservation for 3. It was just going to be my parents and I. I'd like to make a reservation for 3. I'm sorry, we're booked out for tonight. Okay, thank you anyway. I hung up. I'm like, oh man. All that work for coming up short. Next time I'm just going to make the reservation. If for whatever reason we change our mind, we can always cancel it. That's what I should have done. But, you know, I'd rather do the right thing and wait for permission to do that. That's just me. I mean, yeah, we went to Sorge's last night for dinner, and, you know, Sorge's is great. But as I talked about in my live vlog, like, if Sorge's is Roadhouse, Libs is Point Break. Point Break is the better movie, but Roadhouse is still Roadhouse. So, take that comparison what you will. So all that happened. But yeah, we did have a nice evening. I did have a nice evening out with my folks, and that was my high, for sure. Obviously my lowest, what I just mentioned before. And my act of kindness was, I gave my dad's birthday gift just a few hours early, which would have been like 8, 9 o'clock at night. His birthday's today. On the slim chance he's watching this, happy birthday, Dad. Yeah, it's my dad's birthday. But I gave him his card and his gift. I got him some peanut M&Ms and a chocolate bar that has toffee and almonds in it. He likes almonds. So yeah. Today we're going to celebrate my dad's birthday today. It's funny. A year ago when it was my dad's birthday, I did those facts about my dad, such as the fact that Bill Clinton spoke at his graduation for getting his master's. His favorite band is the Beatles, stuff like that. I don't really have anything prepared because I'm pretty sure I got all the major things covered in that video a year ago. Well, I guess I do have one story I could tell. Bear in mind, this story is going to be a little grim. So, and it is something I have mentioned before, maybe in passing, but this is actually the story of how the birthday that he had on 2018 might very well have been his last one. And I probably just shocked everyone by saying that. So what happened? Well, a few weeks after his birthday, my parents wanted to go to Rome to celebrate their 35th anniversary, I believe. I think it was for the 35th. We'll call it that. Okay. So they went to Rome to celebrate his 35th. Now, before that, because my dad is an avid, runner, he likes to stay in shape. He takes good care of himself, as we all should. And he noticed that he felt kind of off when he ran, like slight trouble breathing, nothing too major at the time. But little would he know, he actually had like an infection inside him. But it was one of those like dormant ones that only creeps up like later, or like complete overexposure. And the day that my folks were coming home from Rome, like it started from Rome, they had to take like a 4-hour ride to where the airport was. And then they flew an ungodly amount just to get home. Extremely late too, by the way. This might have been like 11, 12 o'clock at night when they finally got back. And throughout that day, my father was really sick. Like really sick. So you're talking like somewhere between 20 and 24 hours worth of traveling, and my father was like really not feeling well. But they made it home safe and sound, thankfully. And then what happened the very next morning? Because this is back when I lived with my folks, by the way. My father gets up and he walks to the family room, because that's where he likes to go every day. And all of a sudden we hear a loud thud. And it turns out he completely collapsed onto the ground. So we immediately rushed him, to the hospital. My mom was freaking out, by the way. And it turns out my father had a wicked staph infection. In fact, I believe he was also septic. So, it was pretty serious. He spent 8 days in the ICU. They had an operation to sort of clear out his lungs of like any infection or whatever during that time. So 8 days in the ICU, plus another 6 days just in the hospital. And every day for like the next 3 months at least, he had to go to Corning Hospital every day, and because he had like an IV that pumped like antibiotic and fluid into his arm, so the infection wouldn't spread anymore. Every single day for about 3 months, he had to go to the Corning Hospital to get that refill replaced. And believe me, it was touch and go. There were times where, in my heart, I knew he was going to make it. That's because for whatever reason, I'm just that optimistic. But there were times I'm thinking, oh no, like, this could be it. Look, at the end of the day, I know that we're all going to die. That's actually what mythical chef Josh says. He says, there's two things in life that always matter. We got to have food and we're all going to die. So, I know one day it's going to happen. And I'm just really thankful that it didn't, obviously, then. We're celebrating his 64th birthday today. Wait, is he? Yeah, shoot, 59. Yeah, 64. He's celebrating his 64th birthday today. So, he's fine now. But man, it was rough. It was really rough. Like, he could barely eat. He had to carry that pouch of antibiotic fluid around him all the time. It was pretty serious. But he's okay now. He's here. Although, unfortunately, and this is my mom's words, not mine, they're never going to Rome ever again. Sorry, Rome. I mean, I'm sure you're probably a lovely place. I'm sure time heals all wounds. I'm sure they'll probably change their mind and maybe not go to Rome, but they'll probably travel intercontinentally at some point. They should. This year my parents are going to celebrate their 40th and they're already going to Hawaii for that. So that should be a lot of fun. So, yeah. That's the story of how, hold on. Let me do that. My dad's 59th birthday could very well have been his last. But again, he's okay. He's doing fine. Although, it was during this time where, because actually, it happened when I was first starting making videos. No kidding. Gosh, it's really been that long, huh? In a way, I guess it's a testament to how far we've all come, in a way. There was a chance my dad could kick the bucket. That didn't happen. There was probably a chance where, if heaven forbid my father were to pass on, I'd probably have to step up and maybe I couldn't do this anymore. But I wound up not happening. All in all, we've been pretty fortunate. And I'm thankful for that. And I'm thankful that I got a dad who loves me very much. Yeah, we've argued before, to be sure, and we both made mistakes. That happened, but, in a way, that's what families do. No family life is ever perfect. We all know this. You could be a family of billionaires, and actually, you know what? We already know families who are billionaires, like the Kardashians. There is no way that's a normal life. Seriously, that's about as dysfunctional as a family could ever possibly be. But at the end of the day, they're still family. They still care for one another. So that's always a good thing. And in a lot of ways, it does kind of remind me of a conversation I had with my brother a few years ago. And actually, it was before I started making videos. Because, my brother and I were talking. And I forgot how it led to this point in the conversation. But eventually my brother said, we got our folks for about, right now, probably 25 more years, give or take. Personally, I hope it's more. Personally, I hope it's 35, but that's just me. That would make it 99. And after that, we're all we got. It's just gonna be me and my brother. Not just me and my brother, my brother's married, he's got a wife. He's got, 3 sons. My 3 nephews who I love very much. Now, but if there was ever a time I realized I need to give my nephews an auntie, but should that day come, whether I feel like I'm ready or not, I do know I have to tell myself I'm okay, even if I might not. But if there is one thing I have learned, especially since the passing of my grandfather back in January of 2020, is that life goes on. And whether, heaven forbid, I pass on first, or I somehow in years from now I lose my father, I can definitely say I always remember that his birthday was February 5th. And when he's gone, I'll forever remember that February 5th was his birthday. So I will remember this day for the rest of my life. Oh, this date, I should say. I mean, whatever day of the week that falls on is relative. But the date, February 5th, is one of those dates I am going to remember for the rest of my life. Thankfully, though, it's for a good reason. Because it's my dad's birthday. So, happy birthday, Dad. I don't think you'll ever see this, but if you do, thanks for being my dad. Thanks for not dying back in 2018. And thank you for being one half of the reason why I exist. I really could go on and on with what I could thank him for. So I'll just end with saying, I love you, Dad, and I'm actually really humble. Listen, normally I do the outro, but now I'm just humbled. I got to say, wish my dad a happy birthday on camera, like I do every year. But it's always nice to do. And I'm gonna be seeing you later today anyway, so that's nice. But again, I'm very humbled to make this video for really anyone who wants to watch this. I'm hopeful that we all have a wonderful Sunday. And remember, if you guys want to talk with you, I was going to be here to let you know. Once you're back, take care and make good choices. 607 all day, baby.